DM Scotty's TILESCAPES, the isometric terrain system. Craft them all. Wow your friend.
Hey crafters, DM Scotty here. I got a new one for you. Some new windows, some new Tilescape windows. Now, you know, a lot of our architecture is based around kind of the medieval model, and I understand not everything falls into that, but D&D generally follows that kind of model. Well, it's interesting to bring other stuff into it that doesn't necessarily look exactly like medieval Europe to kind of fantasy it up. You know, it's a different world. It's not Europe or Earth. You want to add some fantasy to it, and you can do that with some architecture. You can add some interesting architecture. And one thing I did for this temple was I made some teardrop windows, shaped windows, which are really cool. I really liked them, but they're also stone. So unlike my other windows, which are kind of just wooden windows for the standard medieval type house, these are stone temple windows. Not Stone Temple Pilots, but Stone Temple windows. Okay, so here we go. I got some pretty cool windows to show you. They're easy, super easy to make. So let's hit the table and we'll make those teardrop shaped windows.
All right, craft friends, to start this out, I used dollar store foam core, and I measured it out 1 3/4 inches wide by 3 inches tall. And I measured up 1/2 inch from the bottom because that's where I wanted the windowsill to sit. And I had these teardrop shaped wood pieces. I'm going to use these for the template to trace the window itself. But you could use anything, any shape or anything you had. You could even easily make these teardrops and just template and just trace it. So the next stage, I cut it out carefully with an X-Acto knife, cut the window out. Then I peeled the paper off the dollar store foam core, which easily comes off the dollar store foam core, and etched into the foam core with the ballpoint pen to get the interesting stone effect or the brick effect for the window itself. So once I had that done, I need to reinforce this because it's going to be very weak on its own. So I used coffee stir sticks and cut them to length around each edge, and then I glued them on with my hot gun for strength. Then I glued an inch piece of thick cardstock on the bottom, and this will work for our Tilescape system. So now I'm going to use some white glue and cover this up because when I paint it, I don't want the foam core to melt. It'll melt if you spray paint it, so I just went ahead and covered it with some white glue. I'm going to use this plastic cross stitch mesh as the lattice in the windows, kind of the leaded windows. But I want to do it, I want to be careful about this because I want to do it, I don't want to do it straight across. I want to do it like a crosshatch pattern in the window. So I want to make sure I angle the pattern, the teardrop pattern, in the correct orientation. And now I've glued the cross stitch material into the window itself. You get a really nice kind of cross hatching pattern. Looks like maybe a leaded window, kind of thing. All right, crafters, another thing I'm doing on this to make it a little bit different is I'm using a blue-gray instead of just your standard gray. And these different colors can really add something to your pieces, to make it look a little bit unusual. So it's kind of like this bluish stone as opposed to just your standard kind of gray stone. So kind of a nice effect there. And of course, I'm using my damp sponge to apply the paint. And really looking good. I really like it. Now I'm going to use standard light gray and do some highlights on my piece. I really like the stonework on this. I think it really looks fun and interesting. Really accentuates the window. And there, just go around and add some highlights. Now I'm going to use some watered down black and accentuate the cracks or the bricks and blocks in this piece. So I'll just pull out those lines that I put in there with the ballpoint pen. And really nice detail. I think that's really cool. I really like how this piece came out. And so just fill in those lines. Take your time. Enjoy it. Have fun. Get in the moment. And now I want to do the lattice on the window. I'm going to use a metallic black, which I think is perfect for this. It gives that kind of leaded look. And I'll put that on and we'll pretty much be done. Except we're going to do the base. I like to do my bases dark brown because they stick out from the edge of the Tilescapes and they kind of blend into the ground. And then I'll just use a lighter brown to kind of highlight that a bit. Even while it's still wet, you can do that. All right, cool. Here we have our Tilescape temple front Tilescape number 9. And as we enter the temple, you can see we got the congregation and the pews and that kind of thing in here. But let's check out the windows. Really nice accent to this. Really bring out the edge of the tile itself. Really help to define the space. And there we go. There's our temple windows. And some more inside the church. There's an altar. And we have our back office for the priest. So pretty cool stuff, and we'll see you next time on Tilescapes.
Hello there, friend. Make sure to give your DM Scotty a like if you do like the video. Also check out the Facebook group and forum. There are lots of nice people there. Give your DM Scotty $1 to buy a coffee so he can keep making videos at a hyper speed. Also, if you like to practice Scotty, then join the Patreon and you get Crafters there that has extra content for you, and you can be happy for the rest of your life watching Crafters there and have fun.
I don't mind stealing bread from the mouth of decadence, but I can't feed on the powerless when my cup's already overfilled. I'm going hungry, yeah, hungry.